There are a lot of things that separate professional players from casual ones. Mechanics, macro, decision making. But if you want to know what makes a pro player pursue the perfection of these qualities, you don't need to look any further than their passion. Hello Summoners, welcome to another ProGuides video. My name is Zyrene, and today we'll be discussing the 10 most emotional moments in League of Legends esports history. The esports scene has developed a lot over the past decade, gaining more and more recognition as legitimate competition, and moving away from the derogatory view of just playing video games. As the scene grows bigger and the stakes get higher, it only makes sense that we see more and more players pouring their heart and soul into the game they love. Really quick though, before we jump into it, today's question of the day is, what was your most emotional moment playing or watching League of Legends? Let us know all your answers in the comments below. And also, before we get started, make sure to check out ProGuides.com if you want to see huge improvements in your rank. There, we have challenger coaches available 24/7 who will help you climb the ladder this season. Don't miss out, and now, let's jump right into the video. First, a message for all of you. We're about to show you 10 clips of people putting their passion on display for the world. They aren't all proud moments, they aren't all happy moments, but they're real moments, and they're sincere moments. Some people would have you believe that it's silly to get emotional over a game, but for these players, it's so much more than just a game. They pour everything they have into their play, and that's never anything to be ashamed of. That extends to all of you as well. Be proud of your feelings, and if anyone ever laughs at you, use their open mouth as a foothold to your way to the top. And just to make it completely clear, I'm not saying to be proud of raging at people or that it's okay to be toxic. There's an appropriate way to display your passion in an introspective and improving manner, and an inappropriate way in pushing things off externally onto others. Now with that completely clear, let's get into it. And just a heads up, a lot of these are tearjerkers. Dyrus was the top laner for TSM from 2012 to 2015. He was known as a stable top laner and helped TSM win multiple splits in NA throughout his career. More than that, he was known for his humorous, deadpan delivery and lighthearted personality. His years being a rock in the top lane for TSM made him a favorite among League players, even if they weren't fans of TSM itself. Towards the end of his career, however, opponents started camping Dyrus as much as possible, to the point where in one interview, Dyrus said, "I'd just like the opportunity to play League of Legends." After TSM got knocked out of Worlds in 2015, Dyrus announced his official retirement. Years of dedication and love for the scene created a tear-filled goodbye that made its mark in the memories of everyone who saw it.
Honestly, I didn't know what to think or what to say. The overwhelming fan support, even though I really respect the energy of the crowd, no matter who they're cheering for. When it's either SOAS or Imp, it's all really fun in the end. And when someone makes that huge play and all that energy, it's just really exciting to watch. Unfortunately, on my side of the end, I wasn't able to perform when it most mattered, and I'm really sorry to all my fans that I let you down.
Dyrus. I think
Exspecially was a support initially known for his name on TSM. And after moving on from TSM, Exspecially had a few teams, hopping from Curse to Team Liquid, to Apex, to Dignitas, and then finally on Phoenix 1. Exspecially and Phoenix 1 managed to earn themselves a third place finish in North America, just enough to send them to Rift Rivals. No one expected them to do well, but they showed up big time and claimed first place for North America. This was the highest high of Exspecial's career in years, and he was on top of the world. Unfortunately, in the split that followed, Phoenix One was unable to replicate the success they'd shown at Rift Rivals, and it was eventually announced that Exspecial would be leaving the team. It was here, in an interview with Avali, that Exspecial would break down over the emotions that came with his exit, fearful that he would never again get to share the stage with the friends he'd made throughout his career.
You've actually just finished your 10th split in the competitive League of Legends series, so congratulations on that. Do you have any fun plans for the off season, or is it just going into the practice grind?
I'm definitely gonna take some time off. It's been a really long season, like I said, and I mean, even though I haven't been with this team for very long, I'm gonna miss these guys, and like actually playing these games, it just reminds you like this is probably the last time I'll play with these guys, and even though I didn't play with them very long, it's always sucks too.
It's all right. It's all right. Do you want to say anything to your teammates?
We all tried really hard. And it sucks to end this way. But I want to wish everyone the best of luck. I feel bad for all, like, Mike and stuff, being a rookie and for him to do so well. And then our team just wasn't able to pull together. For everyone that worked so hard, Ryu, Arrow, Zig, and the manager people, losing sucks. And it's been really rough for everybody. So we deserve this break, and I just hope everyone can come back stronger and just do even better next year.
Look, Special, don't feel too bad. I'm sure your entire organization is proud of you. Your teammates are proud of you. And I am so proud of you watching you play. And all of your friends and fans are proud of you as well.
Rekkles is considered by many to be the best ADC the EU has ever produced. And he's had an extremely successful career with plenty of highlight reel material. With all his notoriety, of course, comes high expectations from both fans and himself. And despite his best efforts, Rekkles was unable to bring Fnatic to finals in 2017. And after receiving the award for MVP of the split, Rekkles couldn't keep himself from getting emotional over how hard he'd tried for the team, the fans, and himself. Rekkles puts his full heart into every game he plays, and this moment made it apparent for all to see.
Rekkles, we're surrounded by so many amazing fans here in Paris. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans here in Paris, chanting your name, and those at home that supported you? I don't know where to start. It's okay, take a moment, take a moment. First of all, I just want to say that all of this, what's happening right now, is something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. Like, I'll never be able to have something like this again, but the fact that we're not able to play tomorrow is just, it's hurting me so much.
Forgiven is another legendary EU ADC, revered by many for his incredible mechanics, and in 2016, he was playing against an opponent he couldn't out-mechanic, an invisible clock. As a Greek native, Forgiven was subject to mandatory military service, effectively putting his league career on pause, or in the worst case, ending it entirely. With this in mind, Forgiven spent the entirety of the time leading up to his service trying to lift his first ever EU LCS trophy, so he could go out on a good note. Tragically, H2K were unable to make it to the finals, and instead Forgiven had the trophy kept away from him yet again. After years of being just 1 or 2 steps away from achieving his dream, Forgiven's time was up, and the inevitability of his situation was too much for him to keep his sorrow in check.
And first off, I've got to ask you about the game in general, and you were just talking to me a little just before then, you're not feeling super great about that one, so what happened in your perspective?
I mean, I think I have to say it. Today I woke up and I got a letter from the Greek army that I have to go to my army duty in March, so this means that I maybe lose the normal season again and the playoffs and the summer split because it's a 9-month duration. So my mind wasn't in the game. I'm sorry if I speak like that. It's just
no problem.
It's super hard because it's again the second time that people take it away from me. And in general, like I didn't hit the best of the games. I tried my best. We won. My teammates carried so hard, and I tried. I'm sorry. I did a couple of mistakes, but it happens. And tomorrow it may be my last game in LCS for at least a year. So I'm sad, but in the end I'm grateful for what I did. So.
Honestly, Forgiven, you performed amazingly. The crowd is here behind you as well. The fans have your support. And honestly, in that game, you guys looked fantastic.
Santorin is an EU native with a lot of experience playing in North America. And after winning North America with TSM in 2015, Santorin hopped around other teams for a bit, until he joined FlyQuest in 2018. And having struggled in the pro scene ever since his time with TSM, advancing in playoffs with his latest team's new roster iteration was a breath of fresh air, and a reminder that he could still perform in the game he loved. It was a validating moment for him, and his joy was contagious.
Such a grueling and intense series against Golden Guardians. So how does it feel, and how excited are you to be moving on to semis next week?
I'm so happy right now. There's no words that can describe how happy I'm right now. Because I made it this far for so long, and it just means the world to me.
I mean, we heard the FlyQuest chants the entire game, the entire day. You have so many people here who are supporting you, and all of your teammates around you, especially after last week, supporting you and holding you up. So what does that mean to you?
I just love my team. They're all great players, and I think we were really confident going into these games. We had some big mishaps in drafts, but eventually we just decided to just kind of YOLO it by just flexing Aurelia, and we hadn't really practiced it that much. And I think just we had a lot of faith in each other, and that's what won us the series.
You know, you played out of your mind today as well as the rest of your team, so I want to wish you, again, congratulations on the win and best of luck moving into semis for next week. So, Santorin, please, one more round for him because, my goodness.
Going to Worlds as EU's first seed, fresh off G2's 4th consecutive EU LCS title, Perkz was beyond excited. They were almost unbeatable in Europe, and G2's play had many all over the world excited that this could finally be an end to the reign of Eastern teams. More importantly for Perkz though, it was the last time he would ever play with that version of G2's lineup. Trick had announced he'd be going back to Korea, and Perkz knew roster swaps were on the horizon. Everyone believed in G2, but the sad reality is that when it came to group stage, G2 was placed in the group of death and couldn't quite hack it. They ended up getting eliminated much sooner than anyone had thought, and this sad final note for the teammates Perkz loved was heartbreaking.
Rough moment, especially for G2 Esports after being so close in a very tough group.
Passion and a lot of pride as well. The game helping ever so slightly to pick G2 up, but you can see how emotional they are, knowing how strong their fans and what their fans expected of them.
Lecrit and Albus NOx went on the greatest run a wildcard team had been on since TPA in Season 2. expectations for wildcard teams like Albus NOx are usually for them to win a game or two, maybe have an upset, and then get eliminated in group stage. In 2016 though, Albus NOx refused to lie down and be eliminated. They fought their way to the quarterfinals with unconventional play, and Lecrit delivered a speech about the importance of never giving up, never just passively accepting what's supposed to happen, and doing everything in his power to represent his region and make them proud.
Thank you very much. And we had to talk to Albus NOx Luna here. Didn't get a chance before. Licorice, first off, you wanted to start by saying something about G2 specifically?
Yeah, sure. I asked Shox to give me an opportunity to say that, guys, G2 did a really good job. Yes, they failed. Yes, they could do better. But when they had nothing, literally no reason to play, they could just surrender. They could just go team or go full alarm. Yes, it would be funny, but they have shown their competitive spirit and they fought until the very end. And you know, guys, when everyone hates you, everyone thinks that you don't deserve to represent the region, and you find the strength inside of you to fight, even if it doesn't matter. That's really cool, guys. Thank you, G2.
Worlds 2018 was a pivotal event for Western teams. Early on in the group stage, Vitality smashed the Korean and Chinese teams in their group, which wasn't supposed to happen. The victories were impressive, but not just because they won, because they played the game their way. Vitality started a movement of Western teams utilizing their early aggression rather than attempting to copy the Korean style. And while the impact of this event was huge, they themselves were unable to make it out of their group. In the interview that followed, Yamato Cannon and Shox were discussing all that Vitality accomplished, and while Yamato kept a strong face despite his voice wavering, Shox couldn't help but give a tear.
Europe and teams in general, it was always this chase. There was this chase about catching up to Korea, catching up to China, always trying to learn from them. But something that I've realized is that, the inspiration that everyone got from Misfits, that 5-game series where they did their own thing, they came in with their own idea and they showed up big time. That was my philosophy coming into this year all around. We brought our own flair, and G2, when they showed up in their style, they're winning. When Fnatic are doing their style, they're winning. Just stay true to yourselves. Do not try to chase anyone. Don't try to copy anyone. Just be confident. Don't limit yourselves either. Go into this tournament, play your next games, believing that you can win everything. That is the mentality you need to have to conquer the best. Because anything is possible if you just believe and play with confidence and stay true to yourselves. So do that for me, Europe, please.
Rookie's career leading up to 2018 was one of seemingly unrecognized talent. He was known to be a great player, but his teams just couldn't ever seem to go the distance. In 2018, however, Rookie and Invictus Gaming clinched their way to Worlds after a few very impressive series and ending with a clean 3-0 sweep of Fnatic. Rookie locked in China's first ever Worlds victory and finally earned the recognition he deserved. After such a long career, Rookie's efforts had paid off, and he was able to represent not only himself as a Korean mid laner, but his entire region as a Chinese player, giving an interview in multiple languages and addressing his audience at home.
As Caster Dune takes to the stage next to Rookie, I'd like to welcome Ho-Min Lee of Riot Korea to the desk to help us with any translations as necessary. Ho-Min, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. 일단 너무 고맙고 just so thankful.
Oh, Rookie. The crowd behind him.
제가 지금까지 우승만을 위해 달려왔는데 지금까지 우승 못 해와서 너무 갈망했거든요. 근데 이렇게 가져 너무 팀원한테 고맙고
So thankful to my teammates.
조심.
Emotion getting the better of him, as it should, as you've worked your entire life towards this moment.
我非常感谢以来支持爱。
Faker is a player who needs no introduction, and his legacy speaks for itself. After all, one does not win 3 world championships without having an enormous passion for the game. In 2017, SKT had a strong showing in Korea, but once they went to Worlds, the team seemed to have trouble maintaining that dominance. They got out of groups fine, but starting in playoffs, they got taken to 5 games, twice, with Faker having to hard carry SKT to the enemy Nexus in their wins. In the final series of the tournament, Faker's efforts weren't enough, and SKT got 3-0'd by Samsung Galaxy. This was the first time Faker had ever been to Worlds and lost finals. And despite his passion for the game, despite all his hard work, despite his legacy, it just wasn't enough. SKT lost, and Faker tasted the most bitter defeat of his career. And the image of the unkillable Demon King, hunched over with his head in his hands, was a moment that needed no commentary.
Samsung Galaxy, the only team to ever dethrone SKT at Worlds. They do it on the biggest stage League has ever seen.
And they do it in the biggest way. 3-0 versus SK Telecom. You can see the emotion on the Samsung Galaxy players' faces. That is an entire year waiting to get back to this moment, waiting for the rematch, and they made it count.
Every single player talked about revenge against SKT. They got it. Faker is destroyed. And now it's...
Alright, that concludes this video. Thanks so much for reminiscing with me. And once again, make sure to check out ProGuides.com to take your game to the next level. We have so much useful content that we want you guys to check out, and also make sure to stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Until next time, good luck on the Rift, Summoners.